Everything's big in Texas.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Flags of America. Today, we got a special treat for you. Before we actually talk about today's flag, for one, I got a hat, and I don't know if you saw my opener there. But I would like to actually point out something real quick. During this time frame that we had this flag as a national flag, the Spanish-American War occurs. Well, not Spanish-American War, the Mexican-American War, sorry. The Mexican-American War occurs during this time frame. So, yeah. We will cover all of America's wars on a future day here on this channel, but I honestly don't know when. There's just too many. Like in the 18th century, when America was just being born and stuff, we only had 6 wars. You want to know how many wars we have going on in this century? 11. And with current tensions between us and Iran, it's possible we'll make it a 12. I don't know. And I'm dropping stuff already. Anyways, before I get too reckless and drop my life, let's talk about what today's flag is. So yeah, that's what the flag looks like. I'll put it up on screen right now. This flag obviously has 28 stars and 13 stripes. So, yeah, basically, all the star arrangement is all even. There's no little extra membranes separated or whatever. Last time we had a flag to look like this is when we talked about the flag with Missouri with 24 stars. And the one before that, according to my notes, the flag with 20 stars with Indiana, Louisiana, Mississippi, Ohio, and Tennessee in alphabetical order, but not in that correct order. And yeah. So we're talking about 28 stars. Obviously, we also had this flag during the Mexican-American War, not the Spanish-American War. That's coming way later. And that war is, again, that's really interesting, and we'll talk about that war and all of America's wars, all the way from the American Revolution all the way until the current war in Iraq, which is currently the longest war in American history. We'll talk about all of those on a later day, not now. That's going to take too long. So, what states were added during this time? Or state? Let's find out.
Here is the state that was added to the flag and to the Union. Texas.
Yep. Texas joins the Union. One thing that should also be mentioned is that Texas was also once its own country. In fact, in its entire history, it has been a part of at least 6 different countries. Whether it's the French, the Spanish, Mexico, its own independent country, the Confederacy, and America. So, yeah. That's just its entire history in a nutshell. Texas is actually one of those very few U.S. states that actually was its own country before it became part of the Union. Some other states tend out to do the same thing, or were kind of in that same boat. You have Vermont with the Vermont Republic. That's why if you see like a British flag map of the 13 colonies, you'll see this. Texas obviously did. California was a country for like 3 weeks. I think Alaska was its own country before it became part of Russia, and then we bought it from Russia. Hawaii was its own country for a while. But yeah, Texas was its own country from 1836 to 1846. Obviously, because we had this flag in 1846. So, yeah, it was for most of its history, at least before it became part of America. It was under Spain in the areas of what was then the Mexican Empire, or the then country of Mexico. Because Mexico was actually huge in the mid 19th century. Excuse me. With this, Mexico was, unstable. They actually had a military dictatorship. Their president, leader, whatever, was a military tyrant, and which led to the Texan Revolution. Texas got their independence, was kind of actually backed up by America, which actually was the southern plantation owners of the southern states. With that, Texas thought it was best to be, independent. So they decided, you know what? Let's revolt. So the famous Battle of the Alamo happened, where everyone fought to the last man standing. I believe the last person to die was Davy Crockett. I'm not quite sure about that, but it was a heroic last stand. And the people of Texas were like, "Remember the Alamo! Remember the Alamo!" And they fought Mexico, and yeah, they won their independence. But they actually originally wanted to join America. And then Congress said, "No, whoa, hold up. We gotta work stuff out over here. So we're gonna put you on the back burner real quick." And they did, for 10 years. So Texas was its own country for 10 years. And after that 10 years was up, U.S. annexed it. There was still some disputed land between Texas and Mexico, which was an American issue at the time. We declared war on Mexico. Mexican-American War occurs. Long story short, we won. So, yeah. I believe that's all I have for today's episode. Yeah. That's all I got for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for tomorrow, where we wrap up the flag episodes of the week, and we'll talk about 29 Stars and 13 Stripes, and sort of American African colony. It's weird. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, click the circle on your right. Click the square on the left to watch the last series on my channel, which is Congress. I think you'll like it. See you all next time.